Hello everyone. Today we have finally hit 40 minutes of training. Well, technically 39.5. But we're gonna round up and we're gonna do an extra minute of training as a result. So yeah, let's get stuck right into it without further ado. And today I want to continue with the puzzle streak. But of course, before we get into it, I want to warm up a bit. And uh, the only chess I've really done today was I managed to farm a 2580 in bullet on my alt account. So very unproductive, but also very satisfying. So I managed to beat him 4-0, and then I was like, okay, I need to stream if I want to stream before my chess lesson at 4. So that's the plan. That's the plan. We're gonna do some blind tactics to warm up, and then we're gonna do some more puzzle streak, and hopefully I'm not gonna mess up. I mean, I've had a bit of a groggy day, I must admit. Um, but yeah, we'll see if we can wake up a bit with the tactics and puzzle solving. So, um, you know what? Actually, I want to warm up with a chess neuron. Actually, it's been a while since I've done any chess neurons. So let's warm up with a positional exercise, get us actually thinking real chess again. And then maybe we'll do one blind puzzle and then we'll get into the streaks. So let's do just an easy one, see if we can work this out. Okay, so white's turn to move. What to do? Speaking of which, I actually really need to make a chess neurons shout out video. I think uh, it's a really great resource which people could really make use of. Okay, I'll do that another time. Okay, so as always, evaluate the position, then consider what the goal is in the position, and then consider your candidate moves to achieve said goal, and then find your move. Okay, so basically the evaluation of this position, I would say that black has the bishop pair, although black's got a terrible French bishop, so it's not such a great asset, this bishop. White's pieces are in fact a bit more active, right? Like the rook is lining up against the queen, this bishop is uncontested on this diagonal towards the king. So, but it does feel like, if black gets a few moves and gets to unravel somehow, maybe they get to play like queen c7, put the bishop on c6 after like maybe knight e5 or something. Black is going to be better. So I think white basically needs to act now if they want to capitalize on any dynamic advantage they may have. So to me, the main candidate move would be e5 that I'm looking at as a move. I'm not going to check chat just in case someone has the answer, but I will do soon. So e5 is one candidate move. Any other candidate moves? Oh man, today I'm really not like thinking straight. I really don't know. I don't know why. Like, yeah, like it's actually I don't know if most people experience like the highs and lows of like just energy levels. Like I'm gonna blame a Chinese takeaway I had yesterday, and I also had for today's lunch, and I think like it wasn't good. It wasn't good takeaway. I mean, it tasted really good, but it definitely wasn't like nutritious, and I think like yeah, it's just causing my like sugar or energy levels just to be like completely off. Yeah. But yeah, I literally can't see any other move except for e5. I mean, maybe it's just e5, right? But I literally can't even come up with another candidate move. I mean, we've got all our pieces developed. We want to try and do something on the king side, I would guess. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna go for it. Yeah. Camera covering the board. Thank you, Josh. Okay, thank God for that. Okay, well, the answer was e5. Anyway, you probably could have worked this out, even with half the board covered. But yeah, e5, just opening up this bishop. I don't know if I want to play with queen e4, but it just felt so right. Like, wow, even bishop b1. Okay, trying to put pressure both on the d file and on the king side. This is a fantastic move, bishop b1. Not on my radar at all. Knight b8, the only way to defend the bishop. Yeah, bishop e8. Oh wait, I just skipped a bunch of moves. So if g6, this doesn't work because actually then we can double attack this way. And if knight b8, then rook d4. Wow, and then white's planning to involve this rook and then have pressure both ways. Like, man, this is miserable. I mean, honestly, like for the black player, just never allow this bishop to be so strong in this diagonal. Like that's the simplest way to play chess. Like play black openings that don't allow this bishop to be a beast. Then your life as a defender will be much better. Okay, let's do another one actually since I was covering the board. That was nice. Let's try and solve this. So white to play again. Try and evaluate first, even if it's very rapid. Just gonna make a note of one thing actually. Okay. Also, welcome Josh to the stream. Hope you're having a nice, good day, given how sunny and nice it is outside. I actually need to go outside more. There's actually a real problem. It's too easy just to laze around. Okay, let's think. 4, 5, 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guys, okay, it's on my mind. I gotta show you guys. I just want to show you the dirtiest win I just did against this former 2600 who I was bringing down. But yeah, look how gross this is. So yeah, we had this position. I mean, I had 2 knights against the rook, so I'm like slightly better. I'm just trying to play quick, being tricky with the knights. And it gets to this position, right? And I just give a check. And oh man, like I just won his queen. And I can't imagine the rage he must have been feeling because he was literally on 19 seconds, which in bullet terms is a win. Like given the stage of the game. Like for sure, if he well, firstly I hung my queen. I hung my queen. And he just completely missed it. Oh man. Yeah, this is why being bad at bullet can actually win you games. Like, I just didn't even see that. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to this. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the new thumbnail, Josh. I feel like it looks a bit happier, you know, and, you know, we hit a new milestone with the 40 minutes of training. Like, why not switch it up? Oh, God, I'm really distracted today. Okay, let's actually think. So, I mean, again, moves are just jumping out at me. Maybe I'm just in a more bullet mood today. But no, let's try and evaluate. So, material is equal. They have like this, maybe extra pawn here or here. We've got this extra pawn here. As a result, maybe our king is slightly safer. Like, ultimately, both sides have got an open file against the king, but it almost feels like g2 is somehow easier to defend than b7. I guess like yeah, in this position, you know, we're ready to just try and open this up a bit. Like okay, maybe they can keep it closed, but it's something black has to worry about, whereas black cannot make white worry about anything on the king side. So I mean, candidate moves here. I mean, knight b5 just screams out at me. Like, why wouldn't you want to put a knight on d6? I literally can't see a drawback of such a move. I mean, the knight's even being attacked, right? So that makes it even easier. Like, maybe there could be some argument to say, like, oh, let's prepare with the rooks first, so that when we bring the knight in, it's going to be even more devastating. This is one train of thought. But, yeah, we're just playing this. Like, for sure, this is right. Yeah, I mean, this move was jumping out at me from the start, and yeah, this is just over. Completely over. And you can see the white king has really had no problems. The queen hang time travel trick is so gross. I've fallen victim to it a few times. Yeah, I wish it was on purpose, right? I wish I was that good at bullet to purposefully hang my queen to win a game. Like, I can't. I literally can't. Like, I'm just bad. I'm just bad. I literally just thought that this was a logical check, and I was like, oh okay. I just hung my queen. Oh okay. He just hung his queen. Yeah. Is he still tilting? Oh no, he's rage quit. I see. Fair enough. Yeah. Well, this is bullet for you. This is bullet. And yeah, that was nice. So okay, let's do one blind puzzle, and then we'll move on to the puzzle streak. Maybe just do a few of those. I'm gonna have a banana because I feel rotten from this takeaway. I have an extended theory about why I feel like I'm really groggy. I reckon it's because I ate loads of prawn crackers, actually, and I'm not really a big crisp eater. For some reason, like crisps, like they're just a bit too greasy. The prawn crackers are just really nice, so I think I ate a bit too many, and now I've just like crashed in terms of like my salt. Sugar? Is there sugar in prawn crackers? I have no idea. Okay, as I eat this, I'm going to try and visualize it. You guys are welcome to try and solve it as well. So, for anyone who's new trying to solve this blind tactic, you want to try and visualize the moves on the right hand side, and then make your tactic. We had this yesterday. Come on, we literally had this yesterday. It was just taking here and then checkmate. Okay, we need to do another one. I don't know if you guys remembered this, but we literally did it yesterday. So let's try and solve another one. The only crisp I'd eat are skips. That is such a niche, like only crisp brand to eat. I never got into skips. I don't know why. As a kid, I was always into quavers and hula hoops, and then I don't even know what crisps I eat now. Like, probably like the cheapest Tesco ones, which aren't even that bad. They just taste like Walkers. Alright, let's give it another go. I don't understand. Do I not have a bishop on f5? Ah, I'd earlier played bishop h3. Okay, my bad. Okay, let's try again. Knight d4, queen d4, queen d7, bishop takes b7, rook a4, queen c3, bishop h3, rook e1, queen f5, bishop f4, rook takes f4 from a4, g takes f4, rook f6, rook takes e7, rook g6 check. How is that a check? Oh, because they took on b7. Right. So rook g6 check, king h1, d5, and rook g1. Probably it's just queen e4 check, and then they block with the pawn. No. There's a bishop on. But we just played d5, right? So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we've got a queen here. We've just pushed d5, cutting off this bishop, and then we can go queen d5 check, where they have to block f3 and then we can take, and then they have to block and then we take, and I think it's mate. So I think in that final position we had a bishop here, a queen here. We just pushed a pawn here. There's been some funny business on the f4 square. I think they've got a pawn here because we sacked a rook for a bishop or something. And I think that should be winning. So just check. Ooh, it's not. It's not. I thought check takes and everything falls. Okay, let's try again. Also, Jet, have you played any more tournaments since we last met? Be curious to hear how the chess grind has been going. Ah, the queen is on c3. So it defends any f3 move, right? If I play queen e4 check, they can always block. Okay, so knight d4, queen d4, queen d7, bishop takes b7, rook a4, queen c3, bishop h3, rook e1, queen f5, bishop f4, rook takes f4, g takes f4, rook f6, rook takes e7, rook g6, king h1, d5, and rook from a1 to g1. Black to play and win. I feel like I'm forgetting like one key piece, and that's why I can't find the solution. Knight takes, queen takes, queen d7, b7, rook a4, bishop h3, rook e1, queen f5, bishop f4, rook f4, g f4, rook f6. Takes e7, rook g6, king h1, d5. Oh. We've got a rook on g6, right? So that means at the end, we can just simply play rook takes g1, king takes g1, and use this way to come in, which is simply mate. Because now the pawn is blocking the bishop. Okay, so I completely forgot that the rook is actually here, and that makes a very, very big difference, because we can remove the defender, and then bring the queen in, and... Oh, they replied queen d3. Oh no. So I'm very, very lucky that I've actually got queen d1, which is leading to mate. That's very lucky. Wow. Yeah, I completely forgot that the queen could block. Not an easy one. Not an easy one to visualize. Okay, let's actually get to the puzzle streak, where we can actually see the pieces. But this is the idea, right? If you can visualize like a board and see the moves in your head, should be able to start looking at like long lines more easily in these kind of positions. So okay, it's black to play. Let's always start with an evaluation. So we've got 3, 4, 4, 5, 4 black pawns, 5 white pawns, but white has an extra rook as well. So rook and a pawn against us. In this position, we can take a rook back immediately though. So they might just be one pawn up. Now, to me, it looks really, really simple, but okay, it's probably not actually. Anything else to note? So our king is on a dark square. Maybe it's a little bit weak. Their king is also extremely weak given this h4 push, which has suddenly weakened their h-file in case of any queen takes pawn. So candidate moves, basically I would say that we'd want to either be mating or getting material up. So my first candidate would be rook takes, second candidate would be rook takes. Probably that's about it. I need to regain a rook, otherwise I'm just going to be huge amounts of material down. So I think rook takes b1 is nice, because in this position there's no king h2, because queen takes h4, and when white blocks, we can simply take this rook. And that is going to be good enough for me. So after rook takes b1, that forces rook d1. I don't think there's another move there that makes any sense. And here, do we have something? I mean, maybe we could trade and take this pawn and say that like we've at least equalized. But I feel like we should be getting more somehow. What happens if we just take this rook? I don't think it does too much, right? Like, well, I can always just move the rook somewhere. Maybe even here. Maybe be quite ambitious. So takes is probably a better move here that I'm missing. What about a move like e4 there? Because if the queen can get distracted off this diagonal, then we can take the rook, and that looks really, really strong. If they take a rook, we take their queen. If they play queen g4, we play f5. But then they could give us a check, though they can't because their king is pinned. Right, so I think this should be winning. Takes, they block, and then e4. That should be a winning tactic. Just double checking. Looks really good. And then e4 here. Looks really strong. Phew. Okay, welcome Lucas. e5 wins after rook takes b1. I mean e4, yeah, exactly. Nice, good find. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, let's begin. So, three pieces. We've got bishop pair though. That's good to make note of. How many pawns? 5, 3, 6. Okay, so we're pawn down, but we have bishop pair. Also, there's a lot of tension in the position, like bishops touching each other, rook and knight, like there's some tension there. Development-wise, I'd say it's fairly even, given that we can actually just develop this bishop with tempo, right? Because we're capturing. Okay. Pawn structure-wise, I think this pawn structure, unless it's useful in the attack somehow, it's kind of a weakness, right? They're doubled isolated pawns. King safety. I guess maybe our king is slightly weaker, although doesn't seem so easy for white to bring in their pieces. Whereas for black, on the other hand, does look like there's some way-ins. So what is even the goal here? I mean, we're pawn down, so probably we don't want to be thinking of trading too much. Maybe there's a way to win back some material. Like, I'm seeing that actually bishop takes, knight takes, and queen g5 looks very promising. With the idea that if the knight were to just casually move back to h2, we might have some f3 double attack where we're threatening mate as well as the knight, but doesn't look like it's so working because they can always take back with the knight and they get rid of the mate threat and save their knight. So I don't think that's going to be it. This puzzle feels like it has a very concrete answer, and it's a bit worrying that I'm kind of clueless right now. In a game, what would I even be thinking about here? I'd probably be looking for something concrete as well, because I'd feel like my position is kind of bad. I mean, I'd probably like think a lot about like this exchange on g4 to be honest, and think like, you know, is the resulting position better that the knight is on g4, or do we want to let them spend the tempo to take our bishop? I mean, are there any other candidates to consider, like rook takes d2, f3? I'm not gonna look at chat in case anyone's commented a response. Yeah, nothing is coming to me. How do we work this out, like, logically? What can we think about? I mean, we've got bishop pair. I don't think knowing these factors is going to help us anymore. We need to come up with some kind of idea. What's weak about white? Maybe the h file slightly. Maybe the queen on c2 is somehow exposed very slightly. Like, the queen is, like, defending the knight on d2, right? So maybe the queen is actually somewhat key. Maybe we can exploit it somehow. Like queen c5 with the idea of trying to bring in a knight somehow, but it feels awfully slow. Ah, man, I really don't want to start another streak. Like we gotta make it to 74. Oh boy. Yeah, not so easy. I really hate thinking. I really hate thinking. I mean, I was moaning like yesterday's stream about all these kingside attacks. At least you know what to do in a kingside attack. With this, I have no clue. I have no clue. White's position looks fine. They're a pawn up. Like, why are you trying to win somehow? Unless it is a move to just try and equalize, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it has to be some kind of tactic that I'm just not seeing. I mean, taking the bishop looks so... Oh my god. Oh god. I was thinking like taking the bishop must be like somewhat critical because I feel like it kind of disturbs White's position. And it does, right? Because the knight takes back, and the point is that this knight and this knight are not on sticky squares. And for anyone who doesn't know what a sticky square is, a sticky square is like a square in which a piece is defended by a pawn. So this, for instance, is a sticky square. And because these are not on sticky squares, we've got to move like queen d7. And surely that's like a game winner. Oh my god, with the white pieces, I could easily lose this position. Oh, that's so brutal. I think, well, that must be it, right? I don't see anything else about the position. Just simply a fork. Looks really strong to me. Wow. Okay, and then we take. Nice. Did you guys get that? Bishop g5, knight g5. Bishop knight g4, queen h4, knight h2, bishop e5. Yeah. So Lucas thinking in the wrong direction. Trying too hard to make something clever work, and in fact it's just a fork. But yeah, this is a really important concept about sticky squares. When your pieces are not protected by a pawn, they can easily be vulnerable to very simple tactics. Okay, let's do one more. Well, that was a close shave. Almost didn't see that. Okay. What is this opening? How did we get here? I want to. Oh, we can actually see. Let's have a look. Knight c6. These are two 1600s playing. Are you kidding me? Sound, absolutely sound. The famous Knight f8 maneuver, and this is the position I have to solve. God damn it. God damn it. Okay, well, intuition can go out of the window then. So, in this position, black to play. So what? We've just lost a pawn for nothing. White is more developed than us, and somehow we've got some kind of win here. And I mean, I guess it's linked to trapping the queen. I mean, this is the most amazing trap. Like, play like an absolute amateur, and you're just winning. Like, you've baited the opponent so hard, and now you're winning. But what is the win? So I guess we want to be, like, trapping the queen somehow. Oh my god, knight g6? Knight g6 defends the rook, traps the queen, and we are threatening, I think, bishop f8. Holy crap. That's so savage. That's unbelievably savage. What is this maneuver? Knight f8? And knight g6, bishop f8. I mean, it serves white right for developing the queen so soon, but does it actually work? Yeah, there's no knight in because we just take it. Right? Wow. Wow. If this guy made a YouTube channel, he could call it like Chad Chess. Chad Chess channel, because what the hell is knight f8? And this actually works. I wonder if it was actually played. I'd be very curious if anyone wants to look up these. Maybe it will say afterwards. Is this even winning? Is this winning? I really can't lose this streak on this puzzle. Like, does this actually work? This is the only idea I can think of. It must be this, right? Because any bishop f6, the queen just retreats. It must be this. Yeah, and then bishop f8, I believe, is the idea. And even if they throw in bishop g5 or something, we can always move. They can try and take, but we can always just take. Bishop f8 has to be the move. Okay, and then now we just take in the corner. Wow, what a game! Does it show the game? Can I see the game? No, that's just puzzles. Is this gonna show the game? It does show the game! Queen g6, no! Bishop f6 was played. Oh, this is so sad. Clarkchu, welcome to the stream. And actually, Clarkchu, oh, I don't know if I should even be making this public. Oh, screw it. I chose you to be a beta tester, but the thing is, I am waiting on my supervisor to add all of you to the course. So I don't think anyone has been notified who's the beta testers yet. Like I wrote that announcement in the beta tester forum saying like, oh yeah, I've made my decision on like who should be a beta tester, and then I haven't added anyone because I can't. I don't have admin permissions to just add people to my course. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, you'll see like why I picked you. What was my reason? Okay, like I picked a few others as well. But yeah, that will be very exciting. But yeah, very, very sad. Bishop f6 was played. It would have been such a play. Oh my god, knight g6. Would have been the greatest play ever. What a line. Okay, let's get back to the streak. I think we can probably squeeze in one. Maybe we can squeeze in one more. Let's give it a go. Okay. Right, so let's evaluate this position. Let's not just jump into like automatic moves or anything like this. So we have queen, 2 rooks, and a knight against queen, 2 rooks, and a knight. 4 pawns against 6 pawns. Okay. You know what, actually, speaking of chessboard, I should probably check if my supervisor has actually written back. Aha, okay. I think I probably can add you guys. Okay, you know what, guys? I think because I have a chess lesson at 4, and no, but okay, no. You know what? Let's just do this. We're halfway through. Okay, let's just do it. So we got queen, 2 rooks, knight, 4 pawns against queen, 2 rooks, knight, and 6 pawns. So we're 2 pawns down. Our king is vulnerable. We are in check. Okay, probably my goal in this position would be to survive the attack and be up material. if we're really ambitious. So candidate moves. Okay, we can always play king g8. We can always take the rook. We can always block knight h7. We can also take the rook with our queen. We can also block with queen h6. So I think those are all the legal moves. When it's such like a forced position, then I feel like just even looking at every legal move can be useful sometimes. So what's the gut saying? I think, well, let's say we take the rook, right? Why wouldn't we want to take a rook? Like knight takes h5. The problem here is maybe white can take on d8. Like rook takes d8. Knight takes h5, rook takes d8. And, well, we've taken a rook, they've taken a rook. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad, you know, taking the rook, they take our rook. Probably we have to play rook takes d8, queen takes d8 check, and then we just like play king h7 or something. You know what, guys? You know what? I think like, should I just try and solve this? I don't like having to like solve tactics under time pressure. Okay, let me, because it's such an important streak, right? I don't wanna mess this up because I'm feeling stressed about my chess lesson starting in like 5 minutes. Okay, let's actually think. If we see something we're confident with, we'll just go with it, I think. Maybe it's queen takes h5, you know? Maybe having the knight on f6 blocking this diagonal was actually really legit. Like queen takes h5, if they take with the knight, we take on d1 with mate. If we take on h5, they take on d8, we take that queen and we're up material. If we take on h5 and they take on h5 with their queen with check, then I guess we take back with the knight and we're just up material. So actually it's very simple. I think it's just simply taking this rook with the queen. Cheeky little queen sack. That looks legit to me. I think let's do it. Ah, oh, thank God. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Phew. Okay, we got to 66. We are aiming to get to 74. The grind continues. We need to get it first time to complete the pretty pattern of 38, 56, 74, and then I can be done with Lichess puzzles. But yeah, that was great. Queen takes and we're up in exchange. Nice spot, Kwachu. Glad to see that you're sharp. This is going to be very important skills as a beta tester. And yeah, actually, just in the last minute, I think what I would want to do is just briefly... I don't know. Should I mention it? Yeah, why not? Why not? You only live once. So the reason why I felt like Kwakchu... I mean, I won't mention who else I've added just yet. But the reason why I liked Kwakchu's application for the beta test was a few reasons. Firstly, he said that he was willing to buy the course whether he beta test or not, and that's a super green flag because it means that, you know, you're not just like here to get a free course, but you're here because you actually really think the content is interesting. So that's one big thing. Second big thing is the grammar was immaculate, at least to my understanding. Okay, we can ignore the smiley face, but okay, the smiley face was actually good vibes. So, okay, we like someone with good vibes, like someone who actually cares about the course, like someone whose grammar is legit. Because yeah, there were some very enthusiastic people, but if the grammar's not great, then probably that's going to be a big aspect of the beta testing, making sure that my grammar is on point. So this is probably somewhat of a deal breaker if it's not like on point. And yeah, I feel like just actually for the kind of player, you know, this 1e4 Scotch Vienna player, I mean, I used to play these openings as well. Okay, I used to play Scotch as like my biggest e4 repertoire, and a very dynamic Scotch as well. And I think for these kind of players, like when you learn 1c3 Venom, like I really hope you're gonna like make like at least like 100 points online improvement like instantly. Like I'm not even kidding, because it's like you are basically making the game so much easier for yourself compared to what you've experienced so far as a player. And I hope like yeah, the content and the lines will be very interesting, engaging, and I think if you're a 1e4 player, you know how to study openings. You'll then be able to appreciate the structure of the course. Anyway, I felt like it was a good match. So this is why Quack was um, one of the beta testers I selected, and also I feel like your rating and level is kind of like my target audience in a way, like kind of this um, 1800 online, but hopefully after this course you'll be a 2000. Like this is my goal with the course. So I reckon because I mean I'm speaking from experience, right? Like my own experience. Like I hit 2500 rapid literally. I think because I like switched my repertoire to something that I can handle and just works really well. So anyway, that's enough self promo for one day. I've got a lesson to teach at 4, so I'm going to call it a day. Thank you guys all for supporting, and I'm glad we could keep the streak going. And see you guys tomorrow for another stream. Bye bye.